What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Collector's Thoughts, I'd like to welcome back a very special guest, RB, Real Batman. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Always nice having you on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. And I couldn't think of anybody more perfect for this video in particular because you recently got your hands on a Mezco 89 Keaton Batman figure, which I know is not yours. It was actually loaned to you for the video.
Thank God.
Yeah. So that right there already kind of tells you where this is going. Now with this, we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to bring up his video and we're going to like kind of talk in between it so that way he can kind of, give us a little bit more information on it. So right here, I have the video up. We kind of skipped the very basic intro, but we did go into, I did stop it at the packaging. So we're going to have it play a little bit. Now, me personally, I like the packaging.
Okay.
And from what you're saying, it sounds like you like it too. I mean,
yeah, I think people are so like angry about a lot of the design choices and how long they waited that now if anything, they're definitely nitpicking on the box. I get what some people are saying, like they wanted a more high quality with a slip cover, like you usually get from Mezco. But I think if you display your boxes behind the figures, I think it's perfectly fine. It's got the classic logo, so
yeah,
I'm fine with the box.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, the front has the classic Batman symbol. The back, which we're on right now, has got that very iconic image of him up on the tower right there. You know, looking up at the bat symbol. Look at that. I mean, I think the box looks good, dude. Personally.
Yep, I have no problems with the box, and I like how they did the Toy Biz retro, like the old figures back in the day. That's what the card looked like on the Toy Biz, so they kind of added that to the sides. So I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna jump up ahead a little bit. So right here, you're showing some of the accessories, which is the 3 Batman heads. Now, yep. Before we get into a little bit on this, you say in the video it comes with 4 heads, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so out of the 4 heads, there is one with the scar, like the blood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have the one that is the eyes that move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the other 2 here. What are the difference between these other 2? Do you know?
Just slight facial expressions. That's all it is.
Okay. So out of the 4 heads, actually, before we even get any further, how much is this figure retail?
If you got it on Mezco, I think it's between 110 and 120, and if you got it on Big Bad, it was 150.
Okay, so we'll just say 150 just to make it sound good. So 150, and this took them how long to release this figure?
2.5 to 3 years at least.
So 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like they were rushed.
No.
They had plenty of time. Now, I'm not very familiar with these type of figures in these companies. Is a 3-year window a long time, or is that like typical for what they do with these?
I mean, that's a long time, dude. I mean, sometimes you can wait that for Hot Toys, but it's usually about half of that, year and a half, usually to 2 years. Mezco's known for pushing back figures, but this was excessive.
Okay. So, and did they ever say why, or like, is there any reasoning?
They never really made any like official announcements, but from the information I've gathered and other people have as well, they were procrastinating with this figure. They were kind of all over the place. I think they scrapped at least 1 or 2 other molds that they originally had. This wasn't the original body, the figure, the torso that people were going to get. They just decided to go with this because of articulation, which we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yes, we will. So with well, anyway, before we get into that part, here's you talking about the heads, the different heads. So this is not just the heads. This is the face, the mouth, and it's pretty much the cowl, right? It goes all the way with the chest piece. Okay.
Yep.
So this is you bringing them up. All right. So
looks good.
Yeah, I was gonna say that actually looks pretty good, man.
The likeness is not the problem with this figure. Trust me when I tell you that. Yeah. That is not even close to the problem.
You know what's funny, dude, is I never noticed that like spine thing on the back. Never noticed that.
That's kind of like how I guess there's like a seam there. It's actually accurate to the movie.
Yeah.
And this is I crammed something up my butthole.
Yeah.
Bad eyes. Look at that.
All right, so here we go. I got to stop it right here. We got to stop it right here. Okay, so you made it abundantly clear you did not like this, and you know what? I don't agree. I don't disagree with you. That's an eyesore, dude. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is to what? Wiggle the eyes, right? To move the eyes
Yeah.
back. Okay.
Position the eyes. Yep. Yep.
Okay. So now to you personally, is if they had done this correctly, would this even matter that you can move his eyes from side to side?
Well, I guess it would have been a nice feature on one of the heads or all of the heads or whatever, but Mezco's really good at painting on the eyes. So if they gave us 4 head sculpts, they could have had one looking straight, one looking one way, one looking the other, and something else. But again, that's not even the problem. They're great at that. This that we're looking at right here, that's very unnecessary, man.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
seam there anyway. All you have to do is recess that and have the back of the cowl attach with either magnets or pegs and cover that whole crap up. I'm like, that's just garbage, man.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah, and the thing is too, based on the mouth, it looks like it's not like a different like it looks like the mouth is just like the first one, right?
It's pretty similar to that. The only difference with this one is you can move the eyes. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like maybe that's not fully necessary. I don't know. I mean, and then here,
I mean, there's a lot of ways that they could have moved these eyes. They could give you a tool like Hot Toys does to
Yep.
move the eyes on the inside of it, but that's a bigger figure. This is a smaller figure, but you have the seam right there, Mezco.
Right.
You could have covered that up, man. Like seriously.
Huh.
Wow.
So now here is the third head sculpt that you bring up. I kind of like that one. That one's kind of cool. It's almost like he's like smirk, like almost like a smirk kind of look to him.
Yep. Great
Man.
likeness to Keaton, man. It
Yeah,
really
I was gonna
does.
say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, those cowls and the mouth and everything, the eyes, like I feel like I'm seeing Keaton right now.
Yeah. At that scale, very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, see, you brought it back up. You were not happy about this headpiece, and I get it. I totally get it. So now, guys, just to make it clear too, and Real Batman already knows. Obviously, I don't want to play just his entire video. Go check out his video. He did a great job on it. Obviously, I'm just kind of bringing up talking points. So by all means, I'm going to be skipping through, but please go check out his video. He did a great job on this. So, but I knew he had more to say on this topic than what was in that video. So, all right. So now we're going to jump over. This is when you bring in the other accessories. So we have here, let me see. We got the Batarang with the rope.
Yep.
What's do you remember all the accessories? I know it's been a little bit.
That one, I believe the one on there's a Batarang, and I think that's what he tells the car to stop, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
I think that's what that is. Yep.
Yep.
And then you got the Nightmare Cape one right there.
Okay, so that's one of the spare capes that comes with the Batman figure. Okay.
Yep.
That's the base.
Yep. The dynamic base is that famous gun where he points at Joker in the museum and it comes out. Yeah. And that's how he escapes. Yep.
All right, hold on. So I just want to see this real quick. And now, what's this? Is this white thing? Is that how you stand the figure up? That white like bar? You see the clear?
Well, it's a dynamic thing. If you want to have him like jumping down with the cape pose, that kind of positions, and you can put it around his waist. So it's a dynamic stand. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. There's that grapple gun. Now, did you? Once again, I know this isn't your figure, but were you able to take any of these out and kind of test them out, or were you just too nervous?
That actually hinges. That gun actually opens. It actually really does.
Oh, cool.
The detail on the hands and on the accessories is quite good, but Mezco is known for that anyway, so that's not a surprise. All
right, so me being the viewer, once again, I'm not familiar with these toys. I don't buy Mezcos and stuff. Me being the viewer, this thing looks pretty awesome, because the way I'm looking at this video and I'm saying, you know what, the Batman with the eyes, I just won't use that head. I'll just use the other heads. So far so good, man. 150, 120 around there. I'm not too angry so far. But we're gonna continue on with the video because I know what happens next. So
I'm laughing because I know what I do with the stand and then the box.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so
oh boy.
Here's the base.
Yeah.
So here you go. So
Oh God.
okay, so let's just get into the base since you're talking about it right now. What is the big eyesore on this base? What?
I just think that, I mean, not that that's wrong. It's the symbol's correct.
Right,
And if you look at it, people are gonna say, well, that's the color of the symbol on the chest, the black with the yellow.
right.
I understand that, but you made us wait 3 years. You couldn't give us what was on the box on the base. You don't think
Right.
that would have popped a little bit more? That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So and also that yellow dot in the middle, huh? Kind of
Well, that's where you can either peg his foot or you pop that out, and that's where the stand goes in.
so in your opinion, do you think maybe they could have moved that maybe back or off of the symbol itself?
That would have been sweet.
Yeah, have a nice clean like symbol. I mean, I agree with you with that gold from the box. That would have looked great. And
Yep.
I I think honestly, if they had moved that peg, that would have been great too. All right, so we're gonna you jump over to the different hands. So he has 2, 4, 6, 8 hands.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're looking at some of the hands right now. Detail looks pretty good, dude.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah,
It,
and
it
then
really does.
now
Yeah.
that is his what is that? The other grapple gun?
I Wow, I can't remember that. I didn't take all the accessories out because these are not mine. But
Right.
that's a grapple hook right there where you can attach it to the gun. Because
Yeah.
the grapple gun, I think I can't make it out if it's that. I should really wear my glasses, but I don't think that's the grapple gun. But I can't really tell.
Okay. The only reason why I'm thinking it might be is because do you remember the little one he had? Like not that
Yeah,
big one that he pointed at Joker, but the small one that Vicky Vale grabbed onto, the one on his belt. It kind
yeah.
of looks like that, and it looks like there's a grapple over here. Granted,
It
I'm looking
might
at
be.
a
It
bigger
might be
screen
the
than
one
you.
that he puts on his belt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
I'm thinking that's what that is. Looks pretty cool. I mean, nothing to write home about, but nothing terrible either. So far we got a head that's a little off with that eyes thing. No big eyesore to me personally. Just wouldn't use the head. And then the base, a little questionable, but whatever. It's a base. It comes with a figure. So
Hmm.
far, not bad. Not bad at all.
No.
Yeah, see, that's the other grapple going right there. So I'm wondering if that's just a different version.
Yep.
So this is the other cape, the second cape.
Yeah.
Now for everybody watching, the difference between the two capes is
One's wired, one's not.
okay. So, but they're both cloth material, correct?
They're both synthetic or fake leather, whatever the hell you want to call it, pleather, whatever the hell it is. Which,
Okay.
by the way, I really wish at this stage of the game, real quick,
Yep.
Hot Toys, Mezco, if you watch this, stop using shit that's going to deteriorate after 3 or 4 years. We're far along enough in the game that you know what lasts and what doesn't. And at these price points, fake leather should not be used because it
Right.
just flakes. It just flakes, man. It does. It's crap.
Yeah, and that's where it becomes a little bit of a problem.
Yep.
So we're gonna remember this cape.
I want to forget it.
All right. So here's some of the batterings you show right here too.
Yep.
Hold on, I went too far, but that's all right. That's right. So we got. All right. So we got some batterings here. So plenty of batterings. 1, 2, 3. It looks like 4.
Yep.
Now, why does it look like some of them have silver on the tips, but one is missing silver tip or something? What's up with that?
I don't know.
One right
You
here.
would have to ask. That's a question better served for Mezco, but I don't remember that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a while since I watched the movie, but
Yeah.
who's going to remember if that's accurate or not? I know that some of them are like that. So who
Yeah.
knows?
And there's no like it's just extra accessories, correct? The batterings, they don't do anything different from one another.
No.
Okay, so just accessories. And then what do we got here? We got a star thrower or something. What is that?
That was. I believe that star
Yeah.
was a deleted scene that was never even in the movie, but they included it with the figure. So
Oh, okay. And do you know what that white tube thing is by any chance?
oh, dude, I know what it is, but I can't remember the name of it now. But I know what it is. So the only one that wasn't in the movie was the star. The other ones were in the movie. The other one up top is like the bomb thing. Can't remember the name of it either, but it's from 1989. Nobody's gonna remember all that shit, dude.
Well, you know
Got
what
a lot of movies.
that top thing kind of looks like. Remember when the guy has the swords and he's coming at Batman and he puts out his hand and just like stiff arms the guy. That almost looks like that pad
it does, but I'm not sure if it is that. I don't think it
Yeah.
is. I don't think it is.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember these three.
No, the first of the three, I remember that one. I just can't remember the hell what it's called. But the star, I'm almost positive that was a deleted scene that they never put in the movie. So yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody's watching and you guys know, let us know.
Let us know in the comments, because I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't know.
Me too. I can't think of what these three are. I mean, I'm sure I've seen them. I don't know. I can't think of them. So we're gonna continue on with the video. So plenty of accessories. They definitely delivered on that end. You're showing them right now, kind of going over them again. So that's good.
No, the spread of accessories was not an issue at all. Nope, not at all.
Yeah, that was not an issue.
Nope.
All right, so here we go. Now we got the figure out. This is definitely where there's more. This is where more of the flaws shine a little bit. Now, right off the bat, you have the head with the blood and all that. Looks awesome. I mean, I gotta say, it looks great. Now you're seeing the Batman. He's spinning around on your base there, and he looks good, man. He looks good. But as you say in this video, that's not his cape, is it?
No, that's from the Supreme Knight.
Okay.
I cut the collar off, which I have a video up on the channel, but I just took the collar off the Supreme Knight because the Supreme Knight is different. The wire runs across the whole front of the cape, and it has a border sewn because of having the wire inside. So the cape has a hole in the fabric. So you can take the collar off, put it around the collar on the figure, and just pop the head on, and it stays on flush to the body. It doesn't, and it's a wired cape, but it's funny because I was playing around with the wire on this cape on the figure, and that head never popped off or even lifted up. So
okay, yeah. So that being said, I'm taking it from what you're saying is that the two capes that came with the figure, the head would pop up.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
when you tried, the capes never really sit right.
Yeah.
And then when you try to play around with it, it lifts the head back up, and you're constantly pushing it back down. And getting the collar on is a bitch. You practically have a brain aneurysm, which I say that in my video, but that's because I actually put it on, and it was a pain in the ass. So,
wow.
And so now I hear people saying that they're actually cutting 3/4 of that collar off and leaving only the front part that attaches because the cape that comes with this figure, they didn't sew it all the way through. So if you take the whole collar off, it doesn't hold the cape together. So they're leaving just the front collar on, the front part, cutting the other part off, so that way it sits flush like you're seeing right here, right now.
Right. Okay. Now, another thing too, real quick, because I know we touched on it when we spoke on the phone. It looks like there's like a white powder residue on this Batman figure. So there is. Okay. So that's not lighting. There's no way that's dust because it's brand new, right? This figure just came out.
No, it comes like that right out of the package. It's a powder substance they put on there to protect the figure and to avoid anything sticking to the figure while it's in the package, whatever that means. So
right. So that does not look like the same material as the cowl either.
No, the cowl is molded plastic. That's like a squishy silicone rubber, whatever hell you want to call it. So
okay. So so if somebody wants to clean that up, they spray Pledge on it.
No, I wouldn't. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. That's not my figure. I would just run it under hot water, not hot water, but tap water.
Yeah. And
just use a microfiber cloth and just dab it until it comes off, or it just comes off with time, and just leave it alone.
Okay. So now, I remember talking to you also, you had mentioned that this part of because it looks like it would tear the body, like the joints and stuff will rip.
There's no question if you leave this figure in a pose.
Yep.
That it's going to damage the suit. It's going to crack, it's going to tear, and it'll just spread from there. So yes, this is what they ended up giving people, and you can't even utilize what's there. The endoskeleton or whatever you want to call it they use underneath has good range. It's tight as all hell out of the packaging. You got to be really careful with it because even though it's metal, people have been breaking it. And it's not like you can heat it up because you'll damage the suit. So you ain't going to do that. You just got to carefully play around with it. And then eventually it does loosen up. The problem with that is it doesn't matter if the freaking range is there.
Right.
Okay. And there's a lot of trolling going on. There's a lot of back and forth. A lot of people receive their figure. And I want to get this out real quick.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of people that watched other people's reviews, watched mine, saying that we're whiners. People that haven't received theirs yet or missed out, wait till you get yours first before you call other people whiners. This figure is a great looking figure. It is better in hand than what you see.
Yeah.
The problem is when you get it in hand, these are not opinions, man. These
Right.
are design flaws that people waited for 3+ years, over $100 retail, to not have to cut the cape collar or cut other collars off of other capes to put it on this figure because the one that they gave you doesn't drape well because the material sucks and ain't going to hold up. The body of the figure ain't going to hold up. That's not whining.
No.
That's just stating a fact. That's not even an opinion, Respawn. That is stating a freaking fact. Okay. I'm not hating on the figure. I actually said the figure looks really good in the video. It's the best 6 and around that scale looking Keaton Batman we have to date.
Right.
That's not saying it's better than the Hot Toys. I want to clarify that. In and around the 112 scale is 6, 7, 8 inch, which the Beast Kingdom is in there. I did a comparison of those, which is also up in the channel, but it is the best looking one. But it's also very flawed because much like the Beast Kingdom is, because of the durability issues, and it's just not going to hold up, man. It really isn't. As we're sitting here talking about this right now, before we started doing this segment, Collector's Thoughts, I already read posts of people already having issues with the suit starting to give way. Just
Already?
because they've been, yes, already. Because of the amount of force you have to put the cape on. Plus, after they got the cape on, they're doing figure photography, which a lot of people like to do.
Right.
And it's not major, but they can already see it. It's been what, a couple of weeks? Not even?
Yeah.
I called it.
Okay, so first things first, people saying the whiners, like you had mentioned, I find it kind of like difficult to believe because it's like you're not saying your opinions. You're saying actual facts. You're saying that this thing, first of all, you're saying it looks incredible. I agree. I think that the everything looks good from what you've showed me, but there are legit problems. If you're fixing the cape and the head keeps popping off or moving or shifting, whatever you want to use, that's a problem. You know what I mean? If the body is not articulating the way that you expected, that's a problem. And these are all facts. So for people to say that you're being a whiner or other people are being whiners, it baffles me because it's like it's not an opinion. It's not just something like you saying, oh, I like when you were talking about the base. Okay, if someone wanted to say you were whining about the base where it's not the gold compared to the yellow, all right, fine. I mean, whatever. It was your own personal opinion, but it's not a fact. It's just an opinion that you had on the base.
The base, yes, that's
Yeah.
probably the only gripe they got is the base part. Yeah,
Right, exactly, and that's why I'm saying, like, with that, fine. You want to, and even that's still a reach. But if they wanted to say that, fine. But with these other things, you're proving you're stating facts. They're not opinions. It's not whining. And let's not forget, this is $120 to $150 figure that took them about close to 3 years to release.
yes.
So now I know you had mentioned something before on the phone about they had tried 2 different bodies before this one.
One was molded articulated plastic, which we've all seen by now. They killed it with both Conan figures.
Right.
So we know they can do it, and they've done it with others. That's probably the way they should have gone because the figure would have held up. But they decided to go with this because it's seamless and more articulation, but you can't use it. Again, not my opinion, fact. You can't use it. And if you use it, you're going to damage the figure. People are already having problems with it already after just like a week or two. So that's not an opinion. That's a fact. I want to make this clear here for both of us and even other people that do what we do. Yes, we do reviews to give our opinions when we pick up a piece or whatever it is. But some of it is not opinion. Some of it, in this case, is very, very much facts. Because when you're having a hard time putting on a cape and it's everybody, that is a fact. It wasn't just an isolated. It wasn't just my buddies that was a pain. It's everybody across the board that's having to do all kinds of stuff to the figure. The silicone rubber body, that's not going to hold up, especially if you pose it a lot. Not an opinion. That's a fact. You could put all those 303 sprays you want on it. all you want. I think you're actually excelling the deterioration process. Everybody's going to have their opinion on that. I've spoken to other people that work in automotive stores, and they say, don't do it.
Right.
Don't even do it.
So it's kind of strange. Now you say the body's seamless. Now, do you mean seamless, like as in like stitching, or what do you mean seamless?
It doesn't show any joints, any articulation. It's all underneath the suit.
Okay, gotcha. So, but the problem is that okay, so then as far as that goes, okay, it's all underneath the suit, great. But as far as the articulation goes, that's not fully true, because you, like you said, if you try to bend it and move it, you're gonna have issues. The thing's gonna start, especially if you keep them in an action pose, gonna start cracking and stuff.
Yep. You run the risk of damaging the suit, and not run the risk. You're going to damage the suit.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. If you leave it in a pose and you pose it a lot, it's going to damage the suit.
Yeah,
that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
And what about?
And again, I want to make clear, I only had one person, and he wasn't even that bad in my video. That said that, all a bunch of whiners. But I've seen other people get really attacked, like being called haters, and it's like, because the figure has problems.
Right.
They're not haters, man. They're just. Here's the thing: if there's people, and we know, you and I both know, that there's people on this platform that are very impartial to certain companies, and we already know the rep that they get. Well, if you want an honest review, don't watch them because they love Hasbro or they love McFarlane.
Right.
So when you do the opposite of that, they call you a hater. Well, which one do you guys want? Do you want to start an honest review, and you want me to point out the things that are wrong with the figure, or do you want me to tell you that shit is gold?
Right.
Take your pick, man. Seriously.
Well, and if you started doing that, you'd be a fanboy. So it's a loss regardless. And the thing is, it's really crazy, because like the way that me and you anyway, like I know the way we look at things is we look at it, we're trying to get the best bang for our buck. So the fact that, somebody had waited about 3 years or almost 3 years, whatever, plus they paid that pretty expensive price point for this figure, you want this thing to last. You want this thing to be cool, which they did a great job with the design. We already talked about that. It definitely looks like Keaton. It's definitely one of the better looking ones, but you can't do much with it. And I remember we even spoke up earlier saying that you need to even keep this thing in a climate controlled room. Like you can't even have it too hot or too cold. It might ruin the suit that way.
You can say that about Hot Toys too, though. Like a lot of the soft goods figures that have that leather, fake leather, you better have it in a climate controlled area. Same thing with Hot Toys with rubber. It will help extend the life of the figure. Nothing lasts forever. We already know that, but that will go a long way. But this being not straight up rubber, it's more like a silicone squishy type stuff.
Yeah,
not going to hold up as good as like a Hot Toys. It's not.
Huh. So, so let me see. One thing I did want to say is before we go anywhere else, or before we wrap things up, I want to say your biggest compliment on the figure and your biggest complaint on the figure, which I think I know, but let's just put it out on facts.
I think the biggest compliment of the figure is they did a great job of executing the likeness to Keaton and the accuracy to the suit. And I know they could have translated that into molded plastic, which we wouldn't have to worry about the torso or the likeness. That would have been boom, done. Biggest complaint, I would say, is the cape and how it attaches and how stiff the figure is and breakages. Because once that breaks, man, you're screwed. Yeah. You can't, there's nothing you can do with that silicone. Once you cut it open, that's, I mean, I don't know any other way to put it back together.
Right. So I mean, so in your opinion, you don't have this figure. You borrowed a friend of yours that was his figure. Now, you, from what I've gathered, you wouldn't want to buy this figure, correct? This is not a buy for you.
No, I said it in my review, and I hope that they listen to me and others. I think they should take a page from Mafex's book and do a 2.0 of this and give us the molded plastic figure with pretty good articulation. So that way, if we put the figure in an action pose, regardless of whether it was limited, because again, Keaton did not have a lot of mobility in that suit. Right. So it doesn't matter whether the articulation is good. That's the other thing. Like, there's no wrong answer here. If you love articulation and you like doing figure photography, I'm not saying you're a bad guy. But the pressure that a lot of these people are putting on these companies is compromising the integrity and the quality of these figures. That's why I've always said on this channel and on mine,
Yeah.
give me a little bit less articulation and better sculpt and a better quality built figure over all this articulation, because it's becoming problematic. And it's right here. Perfect example is this figure right here. They procrastinated. They were afraid to put out that molded body that had joints, single joints or whatever. But at least you could have kept it in a pose. It wouldn't deteriorate the figure, and it would have held the test of time, really, as long as you want it in your collection. This, you can't utilize the articulation, so it doesn't matter if it's there.
Right.
It
Which is a shame. So, so my next question is: do you think they will do like a 2.0 with all the backlash they've been getting? Because from what I'm hearing from you and others, a lot of people are disappointed.
I don't know. Mafex is known for that. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Mezco do that before. But based on the backlash they're getting, I would encourage them to do it.
Right.
Re-release this figure, fix a lot of these problems that people shouldn't be having to cut the freaking collar off,
right.
3/4 of the collar off, just so that the cowl sits right. They shouldn't have to be using sprays. The powder is easy enough to get off. You don't have to use chemicals. You could it comes off with water in a microfiber cloth. But when you're paying this kind of money, and I'm not just saying this, this is much more than just the Keaton Mezco Batman. I'm directing this at Hot Toys, all these higher end companies that are using these fabrics and stuff that they know is going to deteriorate.
Right.
I think we're paying enough when it comes to these imports and you're far enough in the game, excuse me, you can use real leather or an alternative that's going to hold up, is what I'm saying. Whether it's Mezco, Hot Toys, I don't give a rat's ass who it is. You're paying a premium price. You shouldn't have to worry about it falling apart right in front of you. Seriously.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, because that's always been a big selling point for these imports and these higher end figures was that, you know, they look great, they can move, they can all, but we're starting to see problems like that, and that makes a big issue. That's a huge issue. So listen, we got a little over 2 minutes to left, so we got a couple minutes left. Anything you would like to say, like put out there about the figure or anything else?
I think if you're gonna keep it in a climate controlled area and you're not really gonna do figure photography, it's a crapshoot how long it's gonna hold up, but that will help extend its life. Right. It's a great looking figure, but it's very flawed, and that's not whining, and that's not an opinion. That is a fact.
Right.
That's it. Sorry for those Mezco fanboys. Sorry if that goes up your pie hole sideways, but that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
Right.
Articulation on a Keaton guy, Michael Keaton's Batman, was not very mobile, so they didn't need to put all this shit in there. And on top of it, you can't even utilize it. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So all right, so that's it for me. That's it from RB, and we hope you guys like the video. You know, do all that good YouTube stuff, like it, you know, comment, subscribe, go to his channel, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we appreciate you guys listening to us. And if you have anything to add, let us know. Take care, guys.
Peace.